Tres. Hello, we are the team Taki School, and this is our story on how to do business in Mexico and Egypt. First of all, some of the background of the cultures is both of them are relationship oriented, so they really value getting to know the person before doing business. They both respect a hierarchy and well, having respect for the authority figures in the companies. In Mexico, you have to have flexible time and rescheduling because some of the sessions can take longer. While in Egypt, they like time is important, but they value overall value and trust and personal connections when it comes to businesses. In Mexico, the communication is more indirect, while in Egypt, it has to be more high context. So you have to be clear with what you want to say. And they also have face-to-face meetings because they think that time is really important. And Mexico focuses on building small connections, not through face-to-face meetings, but through small conversations.
Our protagonist. After entering the Egyptian market through export, Marco prepared to present a proposal in order to open a factory in this new country. He believes that doing this, he can save time and money for the company, as well as presenting the brand as a strong, worldwide, competitive on international level.
Some of the advantages of doing business in this country, the first one is the lower price, where there have been lowered barriers of entry that include duties and transportation cost. The second one is the sourcing of raw materials, where companies have invested in good quality and products that are easy to find and get. The third one is the connectivity, given that Egypt is strategically located as a gateway not to only Africa, but also to Europe. And the last one is the workforce, where there have been a lot of skilled workforce and salaries that are pretty high.
Well, coming now to the story, here's the first chapter, opening the factory. Well, Marco went on and opened the factory. He was prepared with the necessary information for opening the factory, like the permits, taxes, etc. Everything went according to the plan until we start the downfall. Everything was great until he had to start dealing with suppliers and buyers. Marco couldn't understand what was going wrong. He was doing everything he did back in Mexico until he spoke with his good friend Mohammed and realized his mistakes. Mohammed pointed out everything that was a good or a bad idea.
Now, a good idea in Egypt are in-person meetings since they value this time and that's how they build this rapport and build relationships. While Marco decided to have Zoom meetings in order to make everything more effective, therefore neglecting the relationship with both suppliers and clients. Now, another good idea is considering the customs, like checking in with business partners, some of their eating habits, restrictions, religions, and ideology. Marco did the bad idea, which was to completely ignore this and inviting some of his Islam business partners to business branches while on the Ramadan period. And last but not least, a really, really good idea in businesses is direct communication in order to express your desires, your expectations, and everything that's involved in the business, especially since Egypt is a really high context culture. On the other hand, Marco did more of a indirect communication, leading to misinterpreting these verbal cues, leaving the message kind of hidden. So there were some misunderstandings and difficulty in doing business.
Now, regarding understanding the culture, with Mohammed's help, Marco realized that despite the similarities in the culture, there are key differences which mean that you need to adapt to the way of doing business of the new country. Eventually, Marco managed to create a stable and friendly work environment, eliminating misunderstandings and making a productive factory. Thank you very much on behalf of the Taki School team.